Sam. Welcome to part 10, the final part of our Fujimi 1/16 Porsche 959 video build.
Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you click the little bell notifications, get notified of all our latest videos. Click the like button and leave a comment. I do read and reply to all the comments and appreciate everybody that takes the time to leave a comment on the channel. And of course, if you scroll up in the description, there's a link to a big long list of all the items I use in my videos. So if you see anything, you should be able to find it in there.
Back with the final part and starting up where we left off in part 9. We are going to go with final assembly, getting this thing together and getting it finished. I'm really looking forward to getting this done. It's already done. It's there. I know what it looks like. You're going to find out at the end, and we'll see how we go on with the build. So let's jump straight back in to where we left off, and let's continue with the final assembly of the build. Right, so straight back at it. We're onto our engine bay cover here, and we're going to add the heat shield that's shown on the real car. Now, I have a couple of regrets on this. Number one, there's 2 ejector pin marks that, I'll be honest, I didn't even see at all. They're at the top left and right inside. I kind of wish I'd taken care of them, and I didn't even notice them until I had this chrome, this trim heat shield on. It's a real shame. Not much you can do about it now, so it is what it is. And I also wish I kind of, I don't know, not painted it better, because I think it's painted well. Maybe chucked a little bit of semi-gloss clear in there. But it is what it is. It's not really going to be noticeable once the boot's open, well, the engine cover's open, because it doesn't open all that far up. But what we're using here, we've got some cigarette packet foil. This is a suggestion from some of you guys out there to replicate this heat shield that's under the engine cover. So I've measured it, we're cutting it roughly to size, and then we're going to glue it in place and see what it looks like. So I've measured the area with the ruler, and I'm just putting a mark at the top and bottom. We've got a brand new blade in our knife. As you can see, the bench is becoming a bit of a tip, because it always does in these finishing moments of these builds, because there's that much glue and stuff required. It's all over the place. So there we go. Make sure it's wide enough, and yeah, it's perfect. Exactly the width we wanted. Now we need to do the length. So we'll put it on, weigh it up, have a quick look, move it across, look at our reference pictures, which I'm glancing to on my iMac screen, just to make sure we've got the right length and it hits the right areas. Once I'm happy, I'll mark it, we'll cut it to length, and then we need to deal with the protruding peg that locates the boot lid onto the body. So we're having a quick measure. Again, check all your references, check your measurement. We're going to try and get this first time if we can, and we basically do on this. So we've got a ruler, sharp new blade as always. And there we go. Nice and simple, good stuff to work with, and a good idea from whoever suggested it out there. It was a good idea. So line it up. We're going to put a little mark where that little protruding lug is. And then I'm going to use one of our punches. We're going to cut the outer edge off, and that should fit around there nicely. So grab our knife, put a little mark in it. Make sure it's visible, which it is. There we go. So we're going to go with, I think I went with the 2mm punch on this one. Mark it properly so we can see. We'll line it up with our punch. As an RP punch set. This is the, I think it's 0.4 to 2mm. We just line it up. We don't need to tighten the top down because it's only very thin foil. We don't even need to use the hammer. We can just push it. And there we go, job done. Some glue and glaze. We've checked it fits, as you can see, it does fit in. Then we will grab our brush. We're going to brush this on. Nice even coat, not too much, just enough to get it covered. Then we pop it in place. Make sure it's fully burnished down, leave it to dry. We'll be all good. So like I say, yeah, a bit of a regret I didn't see those ejector pin marks. You know, to be honest, I didn't even give it a second thought. I think I was more concerned on getting everything to fit. it's one of those. There's a few regrets on this build and a few issues on it, which we'll have a little bit of a chat about at the end. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's been an enjoyable build, and the end result isn't too bad. Not too bad at all. I'm quite happy with it, and you guys will see it at the end of this video. So there we go. Nice tacky glue, basically a PVA base glue. At this stage of building, you should be very careful of CA glues or anything that might damage our paintwork. So we'll pop it in place, get it lined up at the bottom, lined up at the top, lightly press it down. Then once we're happy, we'll grab a clean cotton bud, burnish all the edges down, get rid of any air pockets or excess glue. And there we go. Not a bad effect, I don't think. It looks pretty much like the real one. So once we've got all the air holes and lines out of it, we'll get them out there as good as we can. I think it'll be passable for what we're trying to replicate. So we're going to round off the edges ever so slightly using our knife. We'll just do it by eye. And there we go. And then a quick test fit to make sure it fits. Where we're going to see, yeah, that'll look great. So there we go. Right, we've got our doors now. Our windows are in place. The windows are one of the weak points of this kit. The glass is not the best. And I found the more I messed around with it, trying to clean marks off and scratches, the worse it got. So I settled on it in the end. It is what it is. We get it as good as we can and basically do the best we can. Now, these hinges are handed. So make sure you get the right ones. Refer to your instructions. Make sure you got them the right way around. Again, we're dealing with CA glue, so be careful near your painted parts because it will ruin them in a heartbeat. And we're going to line everything up. For me, this is one of the most nerve-wracking parts because I knew these were tight. I knew they were either going to fit or not fit. And yeah, this was getting a bit stressful at this point. So door card on top, hinges in place. The glass is in the window, and our door is all painted up. So line up the holes. It's easier said than done. Push it home. Make sure the hinge works, which it does. And there we go. All good. Not too bad at all. We've got full movement. Now, one of the hinge points located at the top here. So we need to pop it through. Like so. You need to get the bottom in first, which I'll figure out in a minute. There we go. So push it home, push it fully in place, and then the bottom piece is held on by that trim on the sills, and this is really tricky to line up. I showed it as good as possible, but there's a fine line between showing stuff on camera and not messing up the model, and sometimes I will pick not messing up the model all day long. But there we go. Yep, door closes, it stays shut all on its own, and it opens back up pretty perfect. So that front piece is glued. We're now going to glue the rear part on. So we need to push that away. Grab some CA glue, our perfect pen. Get our cocktail stick. Be very careful of the body. Keep everything well away. So you need like 12 hands here and 15 fingers. Right at the locator point. It's a pretty generous blob in there. This can't be seen at all. Once you're happy, lift it all in place. Like I say, you need to be pretty supple with your fingers. Once you've got it in though, hit it with some CA glue activator. And there we go. It shuts perfectly. We'll repeat that for the other side. The other side's a little bit tighter, but it still opens and closes and shuts just fine. Onto the rear side glass. So we need to mask this up. So I thought the easiest way of doing this was to do basically what we did on the rear lights. We're going to put a piece of tape over. We're going to burnish it down. Use a cocktail stick to get it in all the corners. And then we're going to use a nice freshly bladed knife. Cut the edges, and then we can spray it up as good as we possibly can. So again, the glasswork, some of the most nerve-wracking part of this, and the plastic isn't great.
At the end of the day, it's a 35-year-old kit. The plastic is 35 years old. Mine's one of the original kits. So it is going to get some degradation over the years, or deterioration is probably the word I'm looking for. And I just accepted it for what it was. The glass isn't very optically clear. There's quite a lot of flaws in it. It's typical Fujimi glass. It's not the best. Because we're on a larger scale, it is a little bit more visible. But we'll make the best out of a bad situation that we can. And to me, this is probably the weakest point of the kit. The rest of it's been fantastic. The glass was a bit of a nightmare. Now, if you look, that windscreen's lined up perfectly. There's barely anywhere to actually glue it. So you need to be ultra careful. So we'll put a little dab of Sea glue on the front. What we do is we then load up our micro brush with some kicker, and we're wiping it. We're not just touching it, we're wiping off any excess glue as well. Once that's held in place, we'll be very careful of our fingers. We'll push the top down. And then if you look at the edges of the windscreen at the top, there's a bit more screen at the edges. So we want to keep it as far away from any visible areas as possible. So we just add a little bit of a dab and spread it across. And then again, grab the kicker and wipe it across. And we'll repeat that all the way around until the front glass is in. Right, the engine cover. 2 hinges need gluing on as we did for the luggage cover. So we just orientate those the right way. Once we're happy, we can push it in place. Literally slots in. And then we put our rear glass over the top. There's 2 locating points. And then we're going to glue it in as we did the front. Just a couple of places where it can't be seen. Wherever there's the most plastic, hit it with the CA glue, hit it with the kicker, and hopefully that will do the job. Now, again, was this going to open? I didn't know. And again, nerve-wracking to do, but as you'll see in a minute, it seemed to work pretty well. So really take your time on glass like this. Like I say, the weak point of the kit, not great at all, but with those hinges in and the glass in place, yeah, the boot lid, the engine cover, boot lid, trunk, whatever you want to call it, opened absolutely perfectly, really well, and closed with a very satisfying click. There we go. Closes really well. Looking at it, you wouldn't even knew that opened. Very neat and clean join and seam lines. Right, our interior, we can finally glue this in place. I've been waiting to glue this in place for a long time, but didn't want to glue it in until I was committing to the body. So there's 4 location points underneath and 2 at the back. So we just line everything up, push it all fully in. Make sure everything's lined up well. The grey leather's not looking bad at all. Glad I chose this colour now. Would have been nice to have a burgundy or whatever, but I think it would have clashed with the mercury grey. So I think going with a more of a classic grey colour certainly paid off on this. So come with some kicker underneath and make sure it's fully dry. We'll put a little bit of tape on the engine cover to stop it opening and flapping around everywhere. And yeah, give this a while to dry before you put this onto the body. Any CA glue fumes will fog you clear. So I always like to leave this off, put it to one side for a little bit, and yeah, come back to it later. Side windows, again, an odd fit and a tight fit, so very careful CA gluing. Hopefully, if you're careful, you shouldn't see any marks at all. You can get CA glue specifically for clear parts. I just find it doesn't hold stuff as well. And as long as you're careful like this and keep everything away, you shouldn't really have any issues. So just wipe, rather than touch, wipe it away. So you're wiping a bit more of the CA glue away. Now, here we go. We're ready. All the glasses in. It's at this point, I looked at the camera. It's on 22 minutes recording. It stops at about 24, which is about 2 gigs worth of filming. And I always have to restart it. And I thought, I'm going to put the body on now. So I'll stop the recording, start again, so it doesn't go off on me halfway through. Sadly, I forgot to hit record again, so I don't actually get me fitting the body on. So we go from this to this. So I do apologise, but the body does go on really easily. Look at that, beautiful. You literally put the exhaust through the rear valance at the back, push them right back, lift over the arches over each arch, slide it forward, lift the arches over the front arch, so basically just widen it up, and then it clips in at the front. It's really easy. It's one of the easiest bodies I've put on. It all lines up beautiful, and yeah, no bother at all. I'm just a bit of a shame that I missed it. As you can see, the engine cover opens fantastic. The luggage compartment does. The doors open great. They do both open. As you can see, they really do close really nicely. So yeah, all the work components worked really well. Good to the miss getting the body on, but trust me, it's really, really easy to put on. I did contemplate taking it back off, and I thought, I'm just tempting fate. But yeah, get the exhaust at the back, and the rest of it clicks over really easy. Right, rear light lens. The job we took a while doing. One of the most prominent features of any Porsche, I think. So we've applied a generous bit of super glue, bit of our perfect pen, Loctite CA glue. Make sure this is the right way round. Again, be ultra careful of your fingers. So make sure it's the right way round. We're going to pop one side in, then the other. What you're looking for, don't squeeze out any CA glue. Once it's in and you're happy that it's in, we're going to hold it in place for 5 or 10 seconds, and that'll do us. Now, the windscreen washer jets. I don't know why. I always like to do these in marker pen to get a bit of a shine on them. So we've got the heading marker, a quick wipe over, job done. And then our window wipers. On my exterior parts, I'm trying to use CA glue as little as possible because it makes such a god-awful mess. So we've got the glue and glaze, a little dab in there. These window wipers are very strange on the Porsche. The right-hand window wiper goes right to the edge. And I'm looking at it thinking, this isn't right. And I looked at reference pictures and I thought, okay, it is. It does go all the way right to the edge of the screen. So we'll line it in, lining it up. You get loads of time to play with this glue and glaze, so you can move it around for a good 10-15 minutes afterwards. And then on the door handles on the side, a couple of dabs of CA glue in each hole. Again, these are handed, so have a look at your instructions. Get them in place, push them home, and then just leave them be. Leave it be, and you'll have no issues at all. We'll repeat that for the other side. As you can see, this thing's coming along really well. It's getting there. Our side repeaters, very, very careful, which we bare metal forward at the back. A little dab of glue and glaze. Pop it in place. Once you're happy it's where you want it, push it fully into the recess. And again, leave to dry. And there we go. Happy. We'll repeat that for the other side as well. And now we have our Porsche badges. Now, the decals in the kit were not great. I proposed an ISM, and Saj very, very kindly offered to send me some of these hobby design decals / stickers. So, as you can see, I was just trying to pop it off without wrecking it, which we did very easily. They are self-adhesive. If you want, you can always put a little bit of PVA-based glue on the back. So we're going to line this up. Pop it in place. Now, it was 18 scale. It's ever so slightly smaller than it should be. And I mean minusculely smaller. But it looks 10 times better than any decal. Once we've got it in place, we'll push it down, burnish it down with cotton bud. And there we go. Job done. Nice, simple, and easy. Now, there's the other side door. That's how it shuts. You can see it's a little bit tighter than the other side. It needs a little bit of gentle persuasion, but there we go. It does shut. Just to prove that they do both open and close. And look at this. This thing's looking stunning now. It's a beautiful, beautiful colour. And it's looking really good. Now, the engine cover. Underneath we did those yellow pull handles for the side flaps. I'm just putting a little bit of a wash around them. You can't see it, unfortunately. But you've all seen me do a wash before. It's the exact same principle. We've got the Tamiya enamel panel line wash. Just pop it in, we'll let it dry, remove the excess, and that's that. Really simple to do. Just add a little bit of final detail in there. Now, this is one part of the kit I may redo. I painted this in black and then dry brushed it in grey UMP primer. I think it looks a bit odd, so I'm probably going to respray this grey and dry brush it in a darker or lighter grey. I think it'll go with the car better because this is a leather option or a leather part of the car, and I think it would be the same as the interior. So this is the one part of the car I may change. But yeah, I'm not that happy with this, but I put it in, just see what I thought of it. And the more I look at it, the more I want to change it, but then I never see it because I'll never lift the the luggage compartment lid ever again. So one of those things. I might change it, I might not. Let me know in the comments if you think it should go grey, or keep it black and maybe not dry brush it as much. We'll see. But it gets a good effect on it. Doesn't look too bad. And then we'll put a generous little splodge of glue and glaze in. Pop it in place. I did pull it further forward in the end. Looking at reference pictures shows us a little bit more further forward. And then, yeah, we'll just pop it up with a cocktail stick while it dries. And there we are. It's a very worn bag. I think it's for tools and that. The jack and what have you's in there. Again, the luggage compartment cover clicks shut very well. And there we go. It's all together. It's all done. I've got some pictures, so we'll have a little bit of a chat about it while we look at some pictures. I have to say, the engine bay looks fantastic. It came out really well. And yeah, lovely kit to build. A few things are a bit of a pain on it, but one of those things where there's no perfect kit, but you make the best of what you can. Quick look inside. It was very hard to get photographs. But yeah, the interior looks good. Happy we chose that grey leather. Definitely finishes off the meteor grey really well. Little push shut, and there we go. So needs a good final polish, and it's all done.
That's it then. All done, all complete. In just under a month, I've managed to do this. 10 video parts, a quite complicated, complex build, lots of detailing, lots of work, and yes, it's been a long, hard slog, but I've enjoyed this immensely. It has been one of my most favourite builds to date. It's not the best kit, it has its flaws, but I have thoroughly enjoyed building this, and yeah, I can't believe I got it built in just under a month. I can't believe I got 10 video parts out at the same time. It's been hard work. The video and editing has taken its toll a little bit, and I don't want to do a video build till after Christmas now, at least, but we'll chat about that in a minute. So yeah, absolutely brilliant kit, great fun to build. I've got several more. I think I've got about another 5 now. We've got the F40, the 512 Testarossa, the Countach Koenig, and the Nissan R380. We've got another Ferrari BB12 Boxer, I think it is, on the way, and I've got a few other 16 scale. Really enjoyed it. I know this is meant to be the best of the bunch, and if you can get one, I'd highly recommend getting it, because it is a great fun build. So what are the bad points of the kit? Before we look at it, we'll chat about the bad points. So the worst part about this kit overall is the glass. The glass isn't the best at all. It's a 35-year-old kit. There are flaws on the glass. It isn't the best to begin with. Optically, for clarity, it's not the best at all. It's pretty nasty glass. And I found if you got a mark on it and you tried to rub it, it made it worse. It was just a pain. Add to that the fact where you've got your gluing surfaces for the model are a nightmare as well. It just exacerbates the problem immensely. So that is the downside to this kit. There's a few marks on the glass I couldn't get off, but overall it's looking good. The other thing as well is a few sink marks on the body. Front wings, bonnet, the worst of the lot. But overall, what a great little kit. Little, it's quite big. I thoroughly enjoyed it. My buddy Sam bought me this for my birthday and Christmas, and thank you, Sam. I've really enjoyed building this, and like I say, if you can get it, go and get it. Other than that, it's tricky. It's a tricky build. You've got lots and lots of components to the interior, to the engine, just everywhere. Everything is hard work because there's such a lot to it, and it's so visible. So take your time with them, and you should be just fine. Right then, so let's put some pictures on screen and let's have a little chat of what we've got and what we've done. So like I said, it's a 10-part video series. If we've not watched them all, head on back to the beginning, go and have a look. There's a lot of footage. This was a lot of filming, a lot of editing. Well worth it in my opinion though. So it's a Fujimi base kit, great kit out of the box. We didn't really add much to it. We flocked the interior, and that's it really. Aftermarket bonnet badge. The rest of it is the kit, and we changed some of the colour of the wiring. That's it really. So it's primed in UMP black primer, base painted in Gravity Spain Meteor Grey. It's clear coated in Gravity Spain 2K clear coat. Wheels for Tamiya LP72, and I clear coated those with Mr. Hobby UV cut spray can decanted through the Apex airbrush. The engine was various LP colours, basically, with a few TS colours in there as well, if I remember right. I forget, hazy on the details now, I've done that much. So engine went together great. A bit of filling needed here and there, and quite a lot of sanding, a lot of cleanup required because the sheer number of parts as well. But engine went together great, looks really good, and the time taken in there was well worth it, in my opinion. It came out really well. I've got some pictures of that at the end. We polished all the body up with micro mesh, got rid of the flaws and the dust, and then we polished it with the ultimate polishing system, which brought the bodywork up really, really well. There's a few flaws. None of my models are perfect. It's just one of those things. It's the nature of modelling. The interior was a mixture of Tamiya LPs. We flocked the floor with embossing powder, and door cards. Came out really, really well. Like I say, the trickiest part of this kit is the glass. There's not an other area to glue it down inside as well, and it did create a few issues here and there trying to get it glued in place. So bear that in mind if you build the kit. And the biggest worry overall the whole kit was whether the doors, the luggage compartment, the engine cover were going to fit and open, and they all do. One of those is a little tight, but it does open and it does close. And the driver's side door, the near side or off side, depending on where you're from, operates perfectly. You can open it with a handle and it closes with just a gentle push. So yeah, a lot of work done. Glad I went with the colour. The Meteor Grey is fantastic. Beautiful colour from Gravity, and the Gravity 2K Spain doing its job as usual. Glad I chose the grey interior. I think the red would have been a little bit too much for this. And I'm glad I went with the red calipers as well, because the standard car has black calipers. I think the red adds a little bit more interest to it. The detail work we spent on the lights with all the masking and painting and the bare metal foiling, that paid off really well. I think it adds to the overall look of the car. And we've got temporary number plates on it for now. I just put some generic German ones on. I've got some British personalised plates on the way. I want to get a picture of that. I'll stick it up on Facebook and I'll put it in the community tab and show it in the next video as well, because I'm going to put my own personal touch to the plate on it. Sadly I ordered 12 scale plates and not 16th, so yeah, that kind of bit me in the bum, but we've got temporary ones on there for now to get the finishing pictures. And I think overall, yeah, I'm happy with this. It turned out really, really well. Great kit, and I'm eager to build one of the other ones. I know the other ones need a lot more work from what I've heard. This is definitely the best of the bunch, but I'm up for a challenge. I don't know how long it'll be before I tackle another one, but we'll get to one in the near future. Got any comments, questions, criticisms? Pop them in the comments down below. I do read them all and try and answer them if I can. And please sub to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and click the notification bell as well. So what's next? Right, well, we've got a sci-fi build on the go, and Brian, you're not going to like this. I'm not going to build the snow speeder for the sci-fi build. I'm going to save that for a video build after New Year. So whether I take part in the sci-fi build, I don't know yet. I'm not burnt out from this build, but I certainly don't want to do another video build straight away because I've done so much editing and so much work. I mean, these last two videos were 9 hours of footage to get, two 20, 30-minute videos out. It's a lot of work, and it does take it out of you a little bit. So what's next? Well, like I say, we'll save the snow speeder for another video build. I've got other car video builds I want to do. I've got all sorts of stuff. The Ferrari group build ends in a couple of days. The Porsche one's on for another month. And we're going to start a Japanese one over the next couple of days as well. That'll last another couple of months. But what I want to do now is a nice, simple, kind of out-the-box build of a curbside kit, most probably. Something nice, quick and easy to get me over Christmas. Bit of fun and no stress, no rush, no nothing. So if you go to Paul-ISM, I'll put my scale mates in the description of the video. Have a look through my kit. You should be able to access all my kits on there. And post in the comments down below what you think I should build. It's probably going to be a car, so don't pick any armour or the one aircraft that's in my stash, because I'd like to build a car and try and make it something I actually have, because I've got loads of kits. I don't want to be buying any if I can help it. So yeah, give me an idea of what I want to do. I've got a few ideas, but But I'd like to hear from you in the chat as well, what you'd like to see me build. It's a personal build, it's not going to be a video build, but I'll do a bench update over the next few days, and I'll do one just before Christmas, and we've got one to do for the subscriber giveaway. Now, I'm going to talk about this more in depth later on, but when we hit 50,000 subs, which we're about 80 away from, we're going to do a giveaway, and it's a good giveaway as well. So stay tuned for that. I will make a standalone video for that. Right, I've waffled on enough. If you're still here, put number 237 in the comments down below, and let's see how many of you made it this way. And also the question I just asked you as well. And I'm pretty sure I asked you a question in the voiceover too. I forget now. But there we go. That's the Tamiya. That's the Fujimi 16 scale Porsche done. Very happy with the build. Really enjoyed it. Enjoyed the videos as well, and enjoyed all the feedback from everybody out there. So thank you everyone that's followed the build, supported it, commented, everything. It means a lot. It really does. And I'll catch you all in the new year for the next video build. I'll catch you on ISM Facebook, which you should go check out as well as my Paul ISM Facebook page, my Paul ISM Instagram channel, page. And have a look at the choice I make. But let me know in the comments what you think I should build next. My Scalmit is in the comments down below. Let me know. And check out umpretail.com where you can get a lot of the products I use, and they're also linked in the description down below. There we go. Glad this one's over. I'm going to put my feet up, relax and edit this video, and I will see you all in the next video. So take care everybody. Bye bye.